Oh, so sorry, chat. Yes, hello, everybody. I'm just working out this tweet, or so I think, and we'll get the stream rolling. Oh, so very much happened last week, and it was essentially, after the climax of this huge battle, this city divided, three different forces of power vying for control over not only not only Blackrock Landing, this major port city in Kaitenkai, but the entire kingdom. And the party helping the rebels, their leader, the lion, Ren, and his son, helping save his son, Aelor, whom they met in the very beginning of the campaign and saved Aelor back then, and that's sort of how they met. Just this epic battle, and Emil leapt in, out of the shadows to kind of lead the charge when the battle started, and it was just a thing of beauty back and forth, and then it ended when it went completely off the rails after defeating these other enemies, and Ormia attempting to tap into this life-leeching power that has possessed her, just lost all control of herself and started only living for the feed and the energy, almost killing Malos and Felix as they had fallen unconscious at one point in the battle. She was subdued, and that was the episode before, I think, right? It's very it's the last episode. Yeah. It's so much stuff, so much epic. There's all this conflict after that. Ormia is unconscious, and there's just talks and decisions on what to do with her, and they're going to bring her back to the Haven and meet up with the rest of the party, and because a couple of them had split off, Emersina and Brixie had gone with Ren and Aelor. Aelor, dead, body destroyed, also being brought back to the Haven for an attempt, a resurrection attempt, possibly for Ormia too, but they didn't even get to arrive because Ormia had come to, and Malos Kevin was doing this awesome mechanic where he was rolling to see, how much his rage was going to overtake, basically. I think, if that sounds right, Kev,
Yeah.
Malos. And at one point it did, and he attacked Ormia based on a couple things she had said in this roll, and then instead of killing her once she fell unconscious again, he turned his rage onto the side of the covered wagon they were in, smashing the bench to bits. And I just tried to multitask. That failed right away. Of course, Kaelin, the loving, kind, caring Kaelin, the neutral party member, wanted to bring Ormia back from the brink. She had actually failed 2 death savings throws. She was not looking good. And Kaelin poured her healing potion into Ormia's mouth, down her throat. Ormia sprang back to life, but failed her wisdom saving throw pretty hard coming out of that, and again went into siphoning life energy from everyone. And a battle ensued. That was after Kaelin leapt from one wagon to the other, doing this amazing, rolling super well, and Felix hopping off and sort of trailing from behind to keep an eye on things and fire from there. Ormia, dead, ends up dying. And now she's being brought to for a possible resurrection, but with the battle going on back at the Crucible, no one's sure just how likely it is that they're going to have healers, especially healers powerful enough to perform a resurrection, there at the Haven to manage things. So this is new conflict now where Malos raged because of, based on Ormia's actions and reactions in this whole inter-party sort of stressful battle, and every party member has their own issues going on, and it was just this really chaotic time. So I really cannot wait to jump into tonight's session. I'm finishing this tweet, and then we will get right underway. We're going to have a couple weeks of downtime here at least, for tonight's session and see for the party members in the city. I'll take it from there.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
We just finished the recap.
It was long-winded. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for hosts. Or I don't know the sounds yet, too, to know which one's which. All right, we don't need smiley faces tonight.
I've got some donations from Nevik and Franco.
Whoa, thanks, guys. That's awesome. Very awesome.
Thanks for the bits.
Sweet. And thank you as well to, gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. I meant to write it down and I didn't. Someone gave us a straight up donation when the donation button of $5 last right at the end of the session, I think. And I missed it until after. Yep. And it was a new person. And so if you're here tonight and now, thank you so much for the donation. And thank you again, Kevin and Frank. It's always super appreciated. We've already gotten a couple more expansions for Fantasy Grounds. Oh, right, we have Volos now. Surprise! As well, so you guys can pull and drag and drop from that. Yeah, snappy.
Very cool.
So fancy now. They're so fancy.
All right, I'm almost done. I swear it. There's still a little touch of lag. It looks like this. Am I laggy for you guys? How's my audio today? Is it choppy again?
Kind of in and out. I mean, the audio sounds okay, but your video is kind of laggy right now.
Okay.
I didn't notice it earlier, so maybe it's just where you're doing stuff.
Sounds okay to me.
Okay.
Just a little bit, but it's manageable.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I agree.
All right. Okay, tweeted, and then I'm going to close out.
Ooh, we have a new player. A very unhappy new player.
Ooh, oh, is that the poor youngin that was hurting today? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so extra sad. All right, I don't have a really cool dramatic intro today because you guys have presented that from last episode. So everyone essentially has arrived at the Haven. Emersina and Brixie dealt with delivering Ayler and Ren and the fallout from that. Ren discovering that Ayler was dead and then passing out from exhaustion and wounds himself. Ayler rushed off somewhere inside the Haven to see if they can find some means of healing him or bringing him back. And otherwise assessing him, Ren being brought in as well. And just maybe a little bit later, 20-30 minutes later, the rest of the party arrives now in the port. So, Em, do you think you would have waited? Would you have gone with anyone, or do you think you would have waited at the tram station for everyone else to show?
I think I would have. Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Can you say that one more time?
No problem. Do you think that you would have waited at the tram station for everyone else to arrive, or would you have gone in and followed like Ren and Ayler to keep an eye on them?
I think I would have waited.
Wait.
If I catch wind of them being on their way and stuff like that, and word of mouth is faster than them arriving.
Okay. Very neat. So just a little while after, again, maybe 25, 30 minutes or so, you hear, you see them all arrive in the next tram. As the doors open, you can see across from the doors and off to the side, Ormia, bloody, this sort of putrid gunk that was maybe blood at one point that's leaked out of her scarred section where her arm was dislocated, and she is clearly dead. and everyone else is in the cart, so I'll let you guys take it from there. Oh, sorry, Em. I think you're muted. If you're talking, unless you were just talking to your kiddo. Oh crap! Is it just me and I can't hear anybody? Ugh. Of course I can't hear anybody. Sorry. Because why would we be able to start a session without some issues? Well, I can hear that. Okay, I'm going to mess up the layout for a second so I can figure out why my... now I can hear those sounds, so... there we go. Okay.
In their chat.
I can hear you again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So doors open. That's where I left off.
Can the stream hear us? Can those watching hear us? Because they couldn't hear us a few minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Respond if you can hear us.
Okay. How's
Hello,
Marco.
hello, hello, hello.
Okay, everything's good. Everything's fine.
Cool.
Is
Okay.
that better? Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is
It sounds the
is
same to me.
louder? Dang it.
I can still hear you. I mean, I can still understand what you're saying. If it's
Yeah. Is that something you can adjust on
Oh,
your
hey,
end, Dan?
Sander.
Maybe about somewhere around 10 decibels.
Oh, for players in general? Oh, hang on a second.
How's that? I don't understand why I'm so quiet.
Can I independently change volumes for people?
Click on their picture.
Okay.
Maybe it's a different microphone being used. Maybe it's like a webcam mic instead of your headset.
We definitely didn't hear you touch your mic, so that
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
She'll figure out switch mics, and then she'll be like super loud.
All right. Let me just tweak the...
I'll take this opportunity to show off my stream of many eyes mug. I
Ooh!
don't know if you can see it. But...
Yes, please.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice straw.
awesome.
I was watching one of the games and wondering if you were there for that.
which one was it?
The Witches one.
Yes. Yeah. I was sitting next to Dusty. Geo.
Oh,
Geo
yes,
Nerd
excellent.
on.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Ha!
How's that?
Much better.
Better,
Actually.
yeah.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Perfect.
Even better.
Now we're talking.
How about that?
Perfect.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Whew. Okay.
Kaylin will follow Ormia's body out of the wagon. Whoever's carrying her.
I'm gonna stop. Like as soon as I see that, I'm gonna be like, "What the heck?" And I look to Kaylin like, "What happened?"
She was
I'm laughing at
overtaken.
myself in triplicate on stream.
Nice.
We were in the arena. And Caleb's just kind
Oh, here. Yeah.
of wide-eyed. But, she'll say, we were in the arena, and she just started attacking us. And then I'll just go silent.
Emil comes up and stands behind Kaelin. He's got Seb on his shoulder. He just doesn't say anything.
Emil, what
Cool.
happened? Don't lie to me.
Ormia tried to do something, and she wound up. I don't know. It was like with the compass, where she was trying to drain the life from people, but she hit Malos and Felix and almost killed them. And we got out of the fight, and we were in the wagon. Then Malos just attacked her out of nowhere. I don't even know what happened. Kaelin and I were in the other cart, but it was all we could do to just. I don't know. Malos was attacking the furniture, and he was attacking the cart, and he was attacking Ormia. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like slowly filling up with rage a little bit. And I'll go straight into the wagon and draw my bow. And Malos is still passed out, right? From the last session?
Oh, right. I forgot that. Well, it's a tram. They rode the train over into the Haven. So I don't know. Malice, did you wake up? Do you think on the
How long
train?
does that take?
Oh, that's right. They're on a train.
Yeah, it was
My-
like 20 minutes,
Sorry.
25 minutes. No problem. It's a lot to.
Yeah, I think I'd be
Well,
up.
well, instead of wagon,
Okay.
say train.
Neat, okay.
Think of train.
Okay, so Malos is now conscious. He's woken up.
Actually, instead of my bow, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take him by his shirt, and I'm gonna drag his ass out.
I
And I'm
think
gonna
Emil.
st-
I think I'll
Sorry.
follow you, and because I like at this point Emil's seen enough bloodshed and inter-party fighting for one day, so I think okay, but I'm saying this. I think Emil is going to try and be the voice of reason.
What?
And M's going to turn around and be like, "Did you ever consider that there are those of us that didn't want to be a part of this fight?"
I didn't expect anybody to come with me. I expected to go out there and possibly die myself for something I believed in. I thought I was going to end up going alone. This isn't how I saw this happening at all.
So all this time with all of these people, and you didn't even once think or consider that somebody might follow you.
Why would they? I'm no hero.
I'll stand up at this point and say, everybody who followed him did so out of their own volition. Ormia made the call for herself, as did I, as did Malos. We weren't forced to go into the fight.
It wasn't our fight, but God, somebody had to do something.
Here we are. My apologies, chat.
Where did it cut off?
Yeah, I don't even remember now. Let's take it from the train cars open. Not just kidding. Damn.
Wow.
I'm gonna turn to Kaylin and
Mhm.
be like, why did
I went to back up Emil. Now I'm not so sure that was the best decision. And she'll turn around. Well, she'll look to Emil and be like, no offense. And then turn around and just kind of walk away from the group a bit.
None taken.
What of Malos? And I turn to look at him and I start kicking him.
Clink, clink. You strike a little bit of the armor. Yeah. If she's just kicking, I'll say, I mean, it's armor, so we'll just say it's... Unless you're doing like a drop kick or something. Yeah.
Hey, don't give me any ideas, but yeah. No, I'm just giving him a few like light kicks because
Like a
I'm
drop kick.
trying to reel it in, but I am actually pretty infuriated right now with everybody.
I just let it happen. I don't say anything.
Emercina, leave him. Just leave him.
While this is happening, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up Ormia's body in a cloak. And I'll pick her up and I start walking out. But I pause at the door and I say to Emercina, you know, she tried to kill us. I'm sorry it went this way, but... And I just walk off.
I'll help carry the body.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Malos hustles up behind Felix, and Felix, you just feel a little bit, the weight lessen a little bit as part of the body. You know, Malos lifts to show you, let's do this together.
Thanks.
All right, you guys begin carrying her body up the stairwell. Is everyone else sort of heading into...
I'm not going to follow everybody else. I'm just going to storm off a bit and keep to myself for a moment.
Okay. You head in a
I'm
different
gonna follow
direction.
right behind.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna follow right behind Felix and Mellows.
I think Emil's the last one left in the room
Mhm.
at this point, and he's just standing there, just looking really lost. And he turns to Seb and he says, "Why the hell did I try and be a hero?"
I'm squeaking from the background because you're a dummy.
Echoes from a little closer than you thought.
Seb, you're my friend. Come on. Supportive words, Seb. Come on.
Fantastic. So, you find a way, you know, there's plenty of street and city down here in this dome under the bay.
Is there a leatherworking shop or anything like that?
You know, you can go ahead and roll an investigation check. There's, see what you find down, you know, through this section of the city. Instead. As everyone else heads up further into the city.
Nope.
Bummer.
Did we not arrive at the keep, Dan?
Nope. Well, you headed to the Haven, which is underneath.
Haven,
It's
right.
the dome underneath. Mm-hmm.
So is that where we let off?
Yes.
Walking away from the Haven.
Just arriving.
Okay.
You all were just arriving. Em and Brixie. We let off with Em and Brixie there dealing with Ren and Naylor. And you guys were bound to arrive at the top of this session. 3. Oh my gosh. No. Apparently this area is more residential. And there is, as you walk on down the roads, there is a bit of tranquility. Not that it helps in your current, you know, mood and situation that much, but there's a lot of those aquatic blues that shine and shimmer from the water, and what sunlight permeates that water down into the dome. There's some luminescent stone down here as well along the walls and other.
I'm gonna sit down and just take it all in.
Okay. You find a spot. There is sort of a low bed, a rocky bed where there likely used to be the seafloor before this dome went up, and the road curves around a nice sharp corner where you can climb down it a bit and just sit and look over seafloor without sea. Some coral, well, wouldn't be coral because that'd be dead, but there's different colorful bits and such of past ocean life here. Still on that rocky floor and sandy floor. All right, Amelia, you're sort of talking with Seb there. Everyone else is heading further into the city. There is a bit of hustle and bustle going on. You do hear some people cheering about the victory that's been won. Others you hear sort of biting back, saying, "Well, it's a battle. It's not the war, and don't get it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves." And still others are sort of barking orders where people need to go and what they need to do. There's a bit of chaos. Ren and Ayler are currently out of sight, but you do. Oh gosh, I don't know if you would know where would you ask anyone, or how do you think you would find out, like, where? What do you want to do with Ormia, I should say, as you bring her body in, sort of cutting through the chaos of the haven.
I mean, do we know where to take her?
Take her to her family. Woo-hoo.
Is there an infirmary? I grab a guard. Is there an infirmary
Oh,
or sort of hospital?
Yes, he kind of looks and is taken aback a bit by Ormia's the scar, the festering wound scar and all the blood. Like, I don't think you need an infirmary, but he still tells you, yes, head down 2 blocks and then turn left. Carry on for about 3 blocks, and you'll see the infirmary on the right has a large red cross, whatever, some symbol. You'll see it there. A little bit busy there, but looks like she's probably needs some immediate attention. And kind of turns.
I think we're way past that, but I'm not sure if there's any other triage centers.
That'll do it. I think most of the healers are out at the Crucible.
All right, thanks for your help.
Sure. Starts jogging away, guard-like, to whatever they were working on.
So I guess we make our way over there. A couple blocks down, look for the Red Cross.
Okay. Which you do find, and it is in fact pretty packed. There are people being treated outside for smaller wounds down the street. As you approach, I don't know, let me just see who's going to. Okay. Yeah, no one has really spotted you or Ormia yet, so if you enter the building, there is room to sort of walk in and walk around between patients, and you see a couple people that deal in medicine running around and trying to patch up wounds.
I'm gonna see if I can just grab somebody and.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh yes. Oh my. It's a half-elf, raven-haired woman, probably in her mid-40s or so. Hair back in a bun, and blood all over her, healer's clothing. What can I do for you? You all look like you've taken. She looks at Mallows too, like, oh, you. Please sit down with your wounded.
Thank you, nurse. We're we're in a bit of a bad shape. But we were at the
Mr.
Crucible, and
Mallows again.
one of our party members sustained quite a bit of damage, and alas has fallen.
Yes, I see. Well, we
Is
don't.
there anywhere that we can place her body for the time being?
How long is it? All of you follow me, please. And she turns and starts navigating through a number of people up a flight of stairs. You get to carry Ormia up a flight of stairs and back into what appears to be one of the main offices rather than an actual hospital room. She clears off some debris off the desk, and there's a few chairs. Please, if you're wounded, sit, and I'll come around and check your wounds and lay her here. How long has she been how long has it been since she passed?
Like half an
Half an
hour?
hour?
I don't know, Dan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's
it's
been
been like an hour, maybe.
It's been like an hour, yeah.
You're the one who knows.
Quiz time, everybody. And-
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30
oh,
seconds.
wonderful. Yeah.
It's been a week.
I see.
Less
Well,
than a day, more than an hour?
that's so great. I'm going to quickly send you a message to Sam because I just thought of something Dan said, and then Facebook was like,
Secrets.
yeah,
And Facebook?
whispers. Yes.
Okay.
As soon as it decides to, there we go. Just make sure I'm typing in the right thing. Secrets to everybody. No.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Okay, finally it decided to send.
Let's do some more show and tell while that's sending.
Yeah, let's.
At Stream of Many Eyes, they also had a little goodie bag, and they had the Waterdeep Gold Dragon
Gold.
coins.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I love it. So is that like the actual gold coin from like the currency from the lore from the game?
Yeah, so the lore is that Waterdeep has their own currency separate from gold
Oh.
and silver, and they have their own. It's a 1-to-1 equivalency, but it's
Mhm.
just named differently.
That is so cool. Stream of
I
Many
was
Eyes.
really hoping that I had gotten the May little emote from as a drop, but I couldn't post that in chat. I am sorry. Chat, I failed you.
All right, hopefully this is going to send to you, Sam, but thank you. All right, yep, it did, good. All right, thank you very much, Ed, for filling us in now. Right, so where are we? Oh my goodness. So she's cleared the way. She's going to take a look at Ormia. All right, it's not too bad. Okay. Oh, yes, these are some unusual wounds. I don't think I've ever seen the necrotic tissue like this build up so quickly in one spot. Did something happen to her?
I just look at Felix.
Can I make an insight check to make sure she's on the up and up?
Sure.
Let's see here. Oh, nice. Oh. Ooh.
It's double digits.
Mm.
I'll take it. Let's see, what'd you get? 13? Okay. Yeah, so you assess, and she does seem to simply be mystified by whatever's happened here. And she does seem to truly be trying to make an assessment as to what may or may not be possible.
She was sustaining some damage from some magic, so we're
Ah,
perhaps arcane in nature.
understood. Well, let me get another nurse up here, and we do have a cleric. I'll bring her in and see what she can do for your friend, though it doesn't look particularly good. Um, I'll be right back. Rest, and I'll be back with two of them. Thank you. She turns and hustles out of the office, giving you all an awkward minute or two in there in case you have anything you want to say or do in that awkward minute or two. Otherwise, I'll just skip to when they come back.
I'm kind of sitting and have my hands steepled and look down, and I ask, Kaylin, do you think there's anything we could have done differently?
I honestly don't know.
I've just been playing it back in my head again and again.
How can you not?
It's just, it was also sudden. We were there in the back of that wagon, and
Kaylin kind of looks at Mallows. Yeah, sudden.
Ormia was apologizing to us, and
Your mic light is peaking for some strange reason.
Whoa,
Boom.
it's like
Okay,
Ed
my-
was hugging me through Discord.
oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just want to let you know it just switched for some reason.
Just suddenly, Ed.
That's really weird.
So much
I
energy.
tried
Oh.
adjusting my settings because I got a notification that I was sounding a little quiet.
Oh, gotcha. That sounded much better though when you were just talking.
Just trying to get back in character.
Sorry.
She was apologizing to us, and all of a sudden, Malus kind of, I don't know, you kind of broke there, Malus. What was that?
That's never happened to me before.
Well, that's a little
was-
frightening.
For me as well.
You couldn't tell that you were going into a blind rage?
I've been angry before, but I've always been able to control it.
Was it because she tried to kill you?
Yes. And what she had become. She was no longer nobility.
Are you sorry for what you did?
I am regretful.
Regretful. I guess that's as good as any of us are going to get. And Kaylin turns and exits the room or whatever they're in.
Okay.
You know, Malus, I don't really honestly blame you for what you did back there. I was angry too.
She deserved a better death.
Maybe so.
Her name and her house demanded a better death. I did my best to control it. I think the damage to the wagon is evidence to that.
Well, as a noble yourself, what do you think we should do from here on? How should we approach the situation? What would her house request us to do?
We should attempt to return the body to be placed in her family mausoleum.
All right. I'll do whatever I can to make sure that happens. And will you help me?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Neat. Kaylin, you've stepped outside back into the hallway. It's still a bit of hustle and bustle, person here and there.
I'm just pacing back and forth.
Okay. So you can kind of hear, the conversation because the door's open and you're out in the hallway, but out of sight and around the corner, pacing back and forth. A nurse, the same nurse rushes back with 2 people in tow, another nurse, and clearly someone that's either a cleric or a paladin. She did reference a cleric. That, clink, clink, clank, clank, follows the 2 nurses into the room. The nurses start going around and just checking everybody. And I'm just going to do some medicine rolls. Wow, these nurses are on point. No, that one isn't. Okay. One roll. Let's see, who would that be for? That'd be Emil. Emil, what kind of damage do you have anyway currently? Do you know what your hit point? Let me just go sneak a peek. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not very wounded at all. I assume my 10 hit points are long gone, so I only have 3 wounds.
Okay, good. Thankfully, that was your roll. So just like goes around and starts applying some basic medicinal herbs, cleaning the wounds with some alchemical solutions. And it's nothing that's giving you any hit points back, but it's just good proper care and a good start to recover properly without too much scarring or anything. Malos, she tells you straight up you're going to need some healing from the cleric here to finish, healing up the wounds. And you can probably expect, you know what? I know what we'll do for this. All right, we'll do a D10 for how many weeks it'll take for the scars to. Okay, about 6 weeks of rest and recovery before the scars completely, heal up. Okay. Cleric comes in and kind of gives everyone a once-over. And let me see. Just grab a couple of dice here. Is there anyone that's like grossly, terribly wounded still?
I didn't get hit once, I don't think.
I'm pretty hurt.
I think it's just Malos, Felix, and Ormia.
Yeah. We took all of the damage in that fight.
Yeah, no kidding.
The tanks.
Yeah.
Who aren't really tanks at all. The DPS who play like tanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a bunch of hit dice. I think I'm at full, but I only have one hit die.
Okay. Yeah, if any of you have hit dice and you want to roll them, you have enough time on the travel to do so. All right, let's see. So that's okay. So Malice, she comes by and gives you once over, kind of looking on either side. She grabs you under the chin and just sort of tips your head without saying much, gently. and puts her hand onto your shoulder, and you feel a little bit of healing energy enter your body and heal up. Cuts down a little bit on the pain from the burns. You heal for 10 points of damage, which I'll just swap a room. So you're back in the green, so things aren't looking as heinous as they was before. She goes over to Ormia and kind of looks down, wipes her face almost like, oh. Turns her
To
head.
bring back the dead is not within my skill set, but I can at least preserve the body so that it does not rot or decay on the way back to wherever you need to take her.
Please preserve the body. I will pay whatever it takes.
2 copper pieces then, please.
I flip her a gold.
No, I need 2 copper pieces for the spell.
Oh,
And I give it
I'll
back.
buy one.
do you have change for a gold?
No.
It's all right. I have the copper.
So she'll put the copper on Ormia's closed eyes and just quietly cast Gentle Repose.
Okay.
This cleric, by the way, this might be important to you, Malos. She's elven in appearance, stark white, long hair pulled back into a braid, and she is an elf, but her skin is charcoal black, so she is drow, and she's wearing cleric robes, bloodied, dirtied, and she looks rather beat up herself. And she's wearing a holy symbol around her neck, and her robes are colored white with golds and blues around the trim.
Interesting.
It's my best character idea yet, you guys.
Bravo on that intro. Good job, guys.
I can't wait for her to suck the life force out of me again.
This one's actually not evil anymore.
Flip side. Okay, and you see as she casts a spell, the matted hair with blood and bits from battle sort of starts to rest gently, and everything seems to relax. There had been a little bit of tightness in her muscles in the past hour or whatever it took to get here. Everything sort of becomes peaceful and held almost in place, like a Cinderella on the sleeping slab.
Snow White.
Yeah, neat. Thank you. Yeah.
And what level cure wounds was that, Dan?
That was just a level 1.
1, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to actually keep track of the spell slots now.
All right. The other nurse comes up to you, Mina, and says, "We can arrange to have her body transfer. Should we take her out of here and get her prepared for casket and travel?"
Yes. If you take her to the back to the shrine where you found me, I can do the proper funeral rites there, and then I can, and I'll look to the other two. Just where were you planning on taking this body?
Zambora.
I regurgitate where Ormia's from.
Zambora.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
No problem.
Sorry, we don't have that in our notes.
Why Zambora, of course. Yeah.
She'll just kind of nod and just, all right. If you wouldn't mind, may I accompany you?
I
I'm not
don't see
sure
why
if we-
not.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's your story? Are you trying to get out of here?
I was in the Crucible when the nobility attacked. I was there with my husband. We were with the church, and I was there to just help. I don't know what was going on, and then the gargoyles attacked, and I was brought back here.
I look over at Felix. Gargoyles.
The golem things.
Da, 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 da.
Kaylin's just watching from the other room.
Yes, this all happened while we were still in the Tower, Malos. We walked out into the aftermath.
Ah, I see.
What kind of gargoyles were they?
They were, what were they, Dan?
They
They looked like statues brought to life, right?
They were, yep. You had seen them when you first walked through the courtyard, sessions ago. I believe they had large, lion-like bodies with. I think they had the creepy standard goblin kind of faces and big wings, and they were a mixture of different creatures.
It was the statues that had been around. The nobility had a few very adept mages, and it was complete carnage. Forgive me. I'm Cleric Mina. I serve the goddess of light here in the city.
I'm Kaylin.
Felix at your service.
Malos.
It's very nice to meet you all.
Me as well.
And you all look like you could use some rest. I think we all could use some rest after the events of today. When should we depart for Zambora?
How long is? Do we know how long the journey is?
Oh, jeez.
Wasn't it like a week?
I'll have to look up. It was at the very least a week. It's probably a good bit more than that because you're at the very. If you're going by boat, yes, it'd be much shorter. You can go down the coast. If you're traveling through by land, it's going to be considerably longer. But we'll say somewhere between a week and 2 weeks, probably closer to 2 weeks. But I'll check.
But shorter on a boat.
Oh, that's the boat leg.
Or
That's
is it
pretty far from
the
where you
boat
are
leg?
by
Oh.
land. Yeah, I'd say maybe closer to a week and a half or so by boat if you're going right down the coast.
Surely Malos can't be bothered to spend 2 weeks by boat. Surely we can go back to the hotel and ask the concierge if there's a better alternative method, which we can
Maybe
just
someone
throw a
can
coin at.
just-
There are teleportation circles there in
Stand
Zambora.
on their back and just run.
Let's reconvene in the morning and talk about this journey.
Very well.
Yeah, we should. Everyone should be present. I don't want to make a decision for anybody else.
Mew.
All right.
Says Brixie.
Sounds good.
I will keep vigil over your friend then for the evening.
Thank you.
It's my duty.
Do you say is her? This isn't out of character question. Is her body wrapped or is it?
Not yet, but it likely will
Okay.
be as part of the process to.
Okay. Before leaving, Kaylin goes over and just kind of clutches Ormia's hand, and then walks out.
All right.
I let Kaylin and Felix go first, and when they're no longer in the room, I walk up to Ormia's body and take her necklace off and put it in a pocket, and then I proceed to leave.
I'm going to step in front of you. May I ask why? Typically, it is considered rude to remove things of the dead if you are not immediately related to them.
She is nobility. She deserved a better death. Her signet of nobility will be imbued onto my weapon, and she will come with me into battle.
Perhaps her family would like it back. I can't pretend to understand the ways of the nobility, but
Perhaps.
maybe you should ask. Were you the one to kill her?
She died by my blade.
I thought I had seen it all. I'll allow you to leave with that. But if these signets are as important as I have seen, perhaps you should ask first before taking a family heirloom. She'll step aside. And then Mina will go get a sheet and put it over Ormia's body.
Oh, okay. The nurses head downstairs with you to call for some other assistant. They have some people that help carry, the bodies of the dead out of here down to where they need to go. You cut through the hustle and bustle again, the chaos of this triage center, and find your way back into the city streets. Not long after, a guard approaches, and she hustles up and says, I'm sorry, and this is one of the guards that you had seen in that main room when you were talking, back when you were talking with Red and all that, before all this went down. I'm so glad I found you, most of you. The leaders of the resistance here would like to see if they could speak with you just before you move on, or if you have some time, you can head to the main strategy room. They just want to hear from you what happened and properly compensate you for all that you have sacrificed and all that you have put on the line to help rebels. That's the message I've been sent to deliver. Do you know where your other party members are? The one with the bird and the wood elf?
Sorry, Dan. I was looking at something else. Were you, was this character addressing one of us? Or?
All of you. Basically saying, yeah, if you go to the strategy room, they want to know, basically what went down there, and so they can plan better and, do something, make an actionable plan to follow up on this success and to pay or compensate you for your time.
I'm really not in any mood to sit through a meeting right now. I don't know about the rest of you.
Does it have
Um,
to take place now? Kaylin's asking the person this. Dan.
Sorry, what's that?
Kaylin's
Multitask, Bill.
asking if it has to take place now. The meeting.
No, I wouldn't think so. I think they're eager to, so they can jump on the heels of this success and put a complete end to any potential problems from leftover members of the church. But surely you have already done quite enough, and if you need rest, then I'm sure they will be happy to wait.
Kaylin will look at Felix first thing in the morning, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
I will let them know. If you see your other party members, compatriots, before any of us reach them, please let them know the same if you would.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. She kind of ducks her head and hustles back off. All right, you guys you roughly remember the resting area, the inn, the tavern, and the different rooms that were offered to you before. If that's where you want to head.
I'll head in my room. I'm going to sleep in my armor with my weapons in arm's reach.
Okay.
Do we see Emersina going in?
I'm actually going to say that separately, M and Emil have both had a visit from a guard offering the same thing. So, M and Emil, how do you two think you would want to respond if you would want to wait or go tonight? I'll say M first just to make it easy.
I would like to wait. And I will not be spending the night in a tavern or inn or any place else. I will just stay where I'm at and just sleep there.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Emil. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make this adversarial. I do not want to talk to a guard, and if I saw one coming, I would probably try and hide.
Okay. I guess roll a stealth check, and I don't think they're going to be pushing. Oh yeah. Well, I don't think these guards particularly. So no. Okay. Yep. You kind of duck into an alleyway as they come by. Happens once or twice, and you easily stay out of sight.
Okay. Good. Yeah. I don't want anybody looking for me, and I'm going to try and find somewhere on the edge of things a dice game that I can spend my evening in. Okay.
It's a little bit later on in the evening, but enough people have returned from the madness of the Crucible, and that people are definitely looking to gear down now, and there are a number of small stakes dice games going on that you're able to find. Let's see then. I've got to remove people. Right, where was did Crystal come with you guys?
Crystal, I thought she was still with us.
Okay. Crystal approaches as you were playing one of these, one of the dice games, and just asks, it's an interesting hobby. Do you mind if I join?
Not at all.
Wonderful. Move over, she kind of says. One of the other people there. A little more brash with the others. And sits down and just asks a bit how to play and has a little bit of spends a little bit of time getting the idea and just having a little fun. She does, if I can find it here.
Just for information while you're looking stuff up, I mean, whatever game Emil is going to play in terms of dice is going to be as close to a pure game of chance rather than a game of skill as he can.
Okay, neat. All right, which she seems to appreciate as you both play. I might have to open the other thing up, Beans. Anyway, she says, well, I have a little something for you that I picked up back at the Crucible after that debacle. Found it on one of the dead, and I figure they won't need it any longer. And it's currently, you don't really know what it is. It's just a brown bag wrapped up, something wrapped up within a brown bag, tied with a little bit of rope and twine. And I'll have to let you know what it is later because I have it, I think, in a different document. She says, open it when you see fit. But there were plenty of spoils that I'm going to pass back out to those in need. But it is good for us to arm ourselves. And please look forward to hearing from the Harbors, our local chapter. I've sent word of your deeds, and I feel confident that they will want to thank you and address you and let you know what a fine job you've done. And they may even be able to share some of how it's impacted and will impact the city and the good people within it.
I look forward to hearing that. Thank you.
Okay. It's late and I should probably take some rest myself, but thank you for the game. This was fun.
Somewhat uncharacteristically, I'll actually quit the game and walk out with her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And she heads to one of the inn-type areas here as well, near where you guys were. Let's see. I really wish I had that in here, but oh well. Anyway, and then unless there was anything else you'd like to chat with her about, otherwise she just sort of heads back and thanks you again and looks forward to hopes you like the gift and looks forward to catching up with you again, hopefully before you leave.
As we go our separate ways, I will whisper just barely audibly Hermod's blessing on you, and then I'll leave.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
I feel pretty uncomfortable saying that name.
Gotcha. Ooh, awesome. Beautiful. Well, she... I wonder if she'd... now, is that part of the blessing where she would hear the name?
Yeah, I think she would hear the name. I intended for the name to be heard, so.
Neat. Okay. All right. She kind of gives a bit of a look of acknowledgement. Thank you. Thank you. And turns and heads off for the night. Send him a quick message. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give everyone a full night's rest. What is that? In the combat.
Except for Ormia.
Yes. Yep.
she's getting her eternal night's
Yes.
Dan, instead of going into
Yeah.
the hotel, I'm going to go into my library.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Not really to study anything, just to be there.
Okay. I like it. All right, so you head in there, yeah, for the peace, the quiet, the separation, the room for thought. There's always, it's always a calming place to be. It allows you to get your thoughts worked out. All right, so I'm just gonna add these other people to the combat tracker. And I just need to add Brixie back because she wasn't there. And then I can give you all a full rest. How exciting. What are rest? Rest.
So excite, much wow.
Yeah.
Very rest.
Well, I had this training once, and it was a room full of people that were getting trained for some type of, I forget what it was, but they were training people to use the computers at this job, and there was this girl that I was sitting with, and we were joking and laughing and stuff, and then another girl from the back of the classroom, they were talking about emoticons, and she said, like in this robotic voice, not intentionally, it wasn't totally robotic. She's like, "What are emotions?" Like, she said as emotions instead of emoticons, and the girl was sitting there, and I lost it. And so I said that, like, what are emotions? So I always plug in whatever is fitting. That's why, in case you hear me do that. What are rest? What are emotions? Like, I just lost it. It was so funny. All right. So you guys all have a full night's rest now. Yay! And
That's good.
well, sort of. Almost everyone has a full night's rest. While everyone gets the technical full night's rest, Emil, you have a slightly unsettling dream. As you finally drift off to sleep.
Who does?
This is Emil.
You're cutting out for us.
Yeah, you cut out
no.
again. And you're very, very laggy.
Poor Dan.
Okay, that's better.
Better? Okay. So frustrating. Okay.
Okay. Now you're all cut up. It was just like you're just like, "Arr!" It's really funny.
So Emil, as you drift off to sleep and start to get into the dream state, this dream takes. Where are you sleeping? Actually, are you sleeping in one of the inn rooms?
Yeah, I'll sneak into one of the inn rooms. Probably try, semi-disguise. Just go back to the inn that I know. Try and get a room, but try not to be noticed or seen by guards or anybody who knows me.
Okay, there's enough going on here that you're not really noticed. You talk to the person where you rented a room, and they've heard about all you've done, you and your friends. So they just give you the room for the night. Rest up, rest well, friend, and you're able to slip into the room. So this dream actually takes shape within that room. You're not sure at first. It feels fairly vivid as you sort of wake up from your slumber and sit up on your bed and look around the room. It's a bit dark and hard to focus on anything in particular in the room. And let's see. Okay. Across the room is a doorway, and you think you see the shadows shift a little bit inside the doorway, just inside the room. And as you try and focus on that spot, you hear the clack of boots across the floor. Clack, clack. And I'm going to just share a picture with you here. A woman appears. She stands about 5'10" or so. Jet black hair that flows down just past her chin. Striking blue eyes. Dressed in fine fitted leather. And she wears a long cloak. Coal black cloak lined with some soft fur at its edges. And around the neck part, there are feathers that stand up around that neckline. And her gaze as she looks into your eyes is absolutely piercing. And let me share this for you and for chat.
Oh.
this one should be kind of lined up, I think. That one over here. And get my notes back up. Okay, so she stands before you now. She turns her head and Saltair, you must be near the sea. Somewhere in Kaitenkai, by the architecture.
You're cutting out, Dan.
Oh, you son of a biscuit, OBS. Okay.
Is that what she says?
No. Yes. She
That was an
curses.
unexpected message
You
from
son
the
of a
dream world.
What? So she sniffed around a bit and smelled the salt air, and then said, "You must be near the sea, somewhere in Kaitenkai, by the looks of the architecture." And she kind of looks directly at you, Emil, at this point. You see up close her eyes, those striking blue eyes, have a bit of almost like an iridescence to them. She's closer now, maybe 5 feet away from you. And you can kind of feel like this is a dream, but it feels a little more vivid than a dream.
Yeah, I think Emil's like gonna be kind of blinking and kind of looking around in a kind of dazed way, like he's trying to wake up but not really sure if what's happening is even real.
Okay. She continues to kind of look over you, just peering right through you. You have very noble convictions. Yes, and a strong sense of self-preservation. One might think this was fate. And go ahead and make a wisdom check, if you would.
Sure.
Whew. You utter some sounds as though to speak. Or you feel like if you wanted to, you could communicate, I should say. Or you feel compelled to communicate, I should say. This would be more accurate.
I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage.
I see your mouth move, but your words do not reach me. That takes more practice and a little more power than you have right now. Good on you for being able to attempt it, though, at such an early stage. You should practice your mind speech with your raven. She kind of looks over past you, and now suddenly Seb is on your shoulder. Practice your mind speech with your raven in the meantime. I am glad to see that you haven't fallen apart yet. Please see that you keep it that way until I can find you in person. And make a wisdom save, if you would. The realness of the dream starts to fade, and it feels more and more just like a dream. And the woman is almost pulled into darkness back to the door, and you feel pulled away too. And you snap awake, but you find yourself with a cool breeze in your hair. the smell of this that comes along with the dome here. This part, it's somewhat fresh, not so much seawater. As you find yourself walking along through the city in the darkness of an alley, you hear a crack beneath your feet, though. Do you want to?
You're definitely cutting a note a little bit still, Dan. I'm not sure what to do about it, but
Okay. Curses. Well, let me try and recap. The last part was. Oh, okay.
I think I got it, but am I still? Am I aware enough to try and figure out if Seb is still with me?
Yeah, you feel awake now, like you've been jostled out of sleep, and you're walking in the city. You find yourself out of your bed, out of the inn, and walking through the city. And just as you're waking up, you hear that large cracking sound beneath your feet. You don't see Seb.
Okay, I feel like I would be doubting reality. Like, am I really actually awake? But I guess I'll investigate the sound and my surroundings, and
Okay.
very confused as to what's going on.
I can
Emil is more than
me. Make a perception check then, if you would. Really low DC, because it's going to be pretty easy, though. Neat. Okay. Again, really low DC. You hear the cracking sound and look down, and you're thrown off for a minute. You're peering through what seems like and standing on what looks like a window. You look off to the side to your right, and you see the stone road of the alleyway. To your left, you see the dome of water. You're walking sideways on the wall of this building in the alleyway.
Well, of course I am.
But you fully wake up and realize you are, in fact, in the city. You don't see Seb around currently. And you're probably like 3 blocks from where the inn was, or is.
I think Emil would take a long... Oh, okay. Emil's going to take a long, deep breath. Try and move a little more into the shadows, because that's kind of his default position. Thinks for a long second, closes his eyes, and tries to think about and try and make a mental connection with Seb, even though that sentence doesn't make sense in his experience. It's like that part of the dream is kind of hanging with him, and he's like, well, can I actually contact Seb with my mind in any way? So he just kind of does that.
Okay. As you focus, do you climb down to the ground, or are you sort of experimenting with?
Not yet.
Okay. So you're already sort of in a dark alley. You step off the window into a darker section, and make that mental connection. And it's as though you're searching. You're just putting your mind out there and searching for Seb. And you do sense, after maybe half a minute or so of just hard focus, you sense this feeling of familiarity, as though you could turn around and Seb would be there. But you feel it extended off in the distance, and about 3 blocks over, roughly where your inn room is. about a minute and a half later, Seb flies up.
Am I the only one that cut out for?
No, it cut out.
Okay, because it was a minute and a half later, and then I didn't hear anything at all.
A minute and a half later, Seb lands on your shoulder, and while you don't, he flies up, lands on your shoulder, and there's no words per se, but you do feel this gist from Seb that's sort of saying or feeling like, I'm here, you called. And I think we'll take our break right there because it's a little bit after and the stupid audio is cutting out so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I really need to do about that. But I guess we'll figure it out.
You may just need to restart everything, Dan.
I probably will. Hey, Jedediah, yay!
That always does work, though.
Right? Seems to. All right, so we will be back. We're going to take like a 5 to 8 minute bio break for those that don't typically do, that are new. And I'm actually going to stop the stream while we do it this time because I'm still having issues and I really need to set up a wish list for computer parts. I just build a new computer and get a hand with it. Okay, thank you all so much, and we will catch you in about, figure probably 8 minutes. Thank you. Catch you in a minute.
Yes.
8. Okay, we are not dead. We are here.
Hooray, not dead. Most of us.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking, oops. It's a poor choice of words. Womp womp.
As he laughs maniacally.
Nice. Thank you very much, chat, as well, for your patience. Thank you for the follows during the first half of the stream as well, and all the cheers and everything. Very exciting. Whew, doggy. All right. So the next morning comes. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're still there with you, Emil. Is there anything else now that Seb is sort of on the side of your shoulder? And is there anything else you want to do before, maybe sleeping?
Actually, there isn't. I think I'm gonna, a little dazed and confused, wander back to my room and go to sleep and try and finish that long rest. And in the future, I can ponder what on earth happened.
Okay. All right, you do just that. Like, yeah, time for bed. And head back to a few blocks over and get some rest. And you do. You get a really.
This is a problem for future Emil.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. All right. Ooh, what else have we got? All right, so now morning time comes around. You all wake up in your different locations. M, you have. Oh, thank you, Randy. Yay for the tip. Yay, or cheer, which is a tip. Hooray! So M, you've woken up. In the spot that you laid to rest. You at least know from the guard that in the morning there'd likely be a meeting in that strategy room. Emil, I guess you don't really know, but you do see some of the other members of your party walking about and waking up and heading to the breakfast area. Whoever wants to do that.
Is the breakfast area like outside and open?
Part of it is, yeah. There's a tavern that has food and a bar and everything inside, but around the back is a little small sort of patio area as well.
I'm gonna go and get some breakfast and then sit down in the patio area. I'm not gonna talk to anybody.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Felix will probably arrive at the breakfast area and see if he can help out in any way.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a Felix breakfast. All right.
Awesome.
Maybe he'll go off book and spice up whatever they're serving.
Sweet. I love it. Go ahead. I feel like we added the culinary thing in your skills, right?
Probably, yeah.
I think one was maybe intelligence or something for creating recipes, and the other was dexterity for actually doing it.
Yep.
Okay. Go. I mean, you probably already have a pretty good working knowledge of it. Go ahead and make a dexterity check if you or that culinary dex check. So nat or something in here. That's ooh. Pull this up so I can actually see what you get. Oh my gosh! Okay. You do. You find a very simple way to up the tasty factor, the flavor profile across all the meals and breakfast. You just kind of go from one station to the next. Like, I think we could do this. Sorry, Discord decided to be like,
Good, Dan couldn't even handle it describing it. It was just
Oh my goodness.
Why?
He just had to get off and make it himself.
Oh, good. Now it's stuck. Oh, hey, maybe. Oh.
Mm,
So
Hey.
maybe.
Hey,
Okay.
Dan.
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh,
Dan
We
come
can't
on,
hear
bud.
you.
it's really laggy.
Yeah, slideshow video and no
Yeah.
audio.
Dan is broken.
Obliterates his computer, I think.
I may have to go try back, jumping back to OBS Studio maybe, and see if I can use all this stuff on that. I don't even know. Because if we can't, I don't want to do it.
Welcome back.
Thank you. My word. Why?
It's like 2 frames a second.
This is a good time to say that subs to this channel will help Dan get a new computer.
If only we had a resident Sam who could give us jingles about our sponsors.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't sing improv.
All right, what if I...
We can be your backup singers.
Is that maybe? No, that doesn't look much better.
Speaking of Sam, though, my kid watched the commercial so much, they've almost memorized it.
I
Like
still can't get
Catherine-
through it.
Yeah, like Catherine
I've
will like.
muted it every time it started. I just doesn't pull me in.
It's so funny though. Like Catherine sings along every time, and it's really funny because she can't really talk very well. So she can say just like you could like she just has one line she can say and it's really funny.
Is it?
Hey, thank you. I'm just reloading a few things in hopes of doing away with this terrible lag.
Oh man, another sub.
Yay, thank you for the subs. Woohoo!
Save Dan.
Sub life. Yeah,
Hashtag save Dan's computer.
no kidding. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. And I'm sure much more for all of you. Okay, I'm slowly rebooting Chrome and going back in my documents. We'll make sure that it's not going to pull up my cheat sheet here.
What camera are you using?
Well, I'm using a C910 for you guys and a C920 for stream.
Dan,
Logitech.
if you open up your task manager, is there anything that's pulling crazy amounts of memory or CPU?
Yeah, let's see what's eating it up. On Windows, I said, let's see what's eating it up. Thank you, Randy. All right, let's see. Long-awaited task manager. The long-awaited task manager.
Oh, it still hasn't opened yet?
It's opened, and then but it hasn't propagated any of the information yet. Here we go. Streamlabs OBS is taking up like 60%, 50 to 60. Chrome is using about 30, but I think that's because maybe Discord. I only have a Google Doc open and Discord on Chrome. Nothing else is eating any RAM, and that's essentially 90-some%. Plenty of memory to work with. That's all CPU.
So you're being RAM limited right now?
Nope, RAM is only at like 40%. It's the CPU.
Okay. I'm not sure if there's anything we can do right now.
Yeah, I'll have to look after. Bummer. Am I at least not ridiculous? Oh no, I can see how terrible it is.
Yeah, the stream's pretty choppy.
Okay, I guess I'm just nothing's gonna work unless I shut it down again, I guess, and try.
Can you go audio only on Discord to see if that'll do anything?
Yeah. Okay. Any better audio-wise now?
Yes, actually.
It
Yeah?
seems better.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Good. Now, if only my document would finish loading. Whee!
And we just really have to use our theater of the mind.
Yeah.
We're pretty smooth on stream now too.
You know, let's do this. For the rest of the stream, I'm going to shut down Fantasy Grounds because that'll probably help, and we'll just use real dice the rest of the session, unless you think there's anything we need within Fantasy Grounds.
I don't have any.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I forgot to bring it. Well, because
You're fine.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I didn't think, oh, technical difficulties, but I don't
I'm
have
just
any
teasing you.
physical dice with me at all.
There
Well,
are.
I have dice, but I don't have any character information outside of Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, gotcha.
At least numbers-wise.
Kevin, you can use Fantasy Grounds offline. You can still access your character.
Well, let me see how this works. Oh.
I'll message you.
Okay.
Okay, so morning after Emersina is eating in the patio section, Emil, with your amazing roll, you go around and just set every station up with a few minor improvements that make for major effects in food. Definitely kicked up a notch. Each station. So breakfast is amazing, and the people eating aren't sure if it's just them being on the heels of this victory, or if it's really the food that's just truly this good this morning.
Emil's tucking into breakfast and keeping an eye open for Kaylin.
Does Kaylin make her way to the breakfast nook?
I think Kaylin's probably starving, so she'll probably get on the cafeteria as well and get something just quietly, and probably go and sit with the group.
Okay. I'll say when you get there, first you and Emil are up a little bit early, and it's you just see Emil in there. As you get your food and look for a place to sit down, Emil's tucked off in a corner.
Emil's already sitting down?
I see you and I smile.
Okay. Well, if Emil's sitting down, I'll go and sit near Emil.
Okay.
Near, like at the table, or like 3 tables away?
No.
Like what does that mean?
At the table, but not like right across from you. I'll sit off to a few seats away. 2 seats away.
Perfect.
You still thinking about going to see your parents?
I mean, it would be a long journey, and I would have to travel it by myself. So, as of right now, I'm going to write them a letter this week.
Well, you wouldn't have to go alone if you didn't want to.
I do miss them, but it's actually better for them that I'm not there.
Emil looks like he's going to say something to that and then doesn't.
When I'm there, they're outcasted from the group because the other elves don't like their decision to have me around. So my hope is that now that I'm traveling, not that I don't intend to return home at some point to visit, but I hope the clan will accept them back. It's hard on them. So no, I probably won't see them for a while.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So what are we going to do about this group?
It's turned out very differently than what I thought it would.
Yeah, me too.
I had hoped being in a group would provide security and camaraderie and things that I had really, hadn't experienced before, but they've turned out to be, in some cases, no better than the people in the town that shunned me. But I think that they're still good people. It's just
most
hard.
of them, probably.
It's just hard to be around them right now.
I think I find it harder around hard to be around people all the time. But yeah, I hope you'll forgive me. But if you don't see me for a day or two, I'm still around.
My audio cut out. Could you repeat that, Warren?
Yeah, let me know if I have any more audio
No,
problems.
it's me. It's me.
Okay. I just said I'll apologize in advance if you don't see me for a day or two, but I will be around.
Same.
And I go back to eating Felix's amazing breakfast in silence.
Kaylin
Speaking
does
of
the
which,
same.
Felix is going to take the opportunity to slide by. He has a big platter and says, "Hey guys, just want to bring by a new invention. These are some fried dough balls. They have frosting on the top. These ones are cherry flip filled, and then these ones have apple filling."
Kaylin grabs 2 handfuls.
I'll grab one, break off a piece, and try and feed it to Seb and see if he likes it.
Did
Wow.
you just invent donut holes?
Yes,
might
he
have
did.
just invented donuts, maybe.
Nice.
Kaylin stuffs one in her mouth, chews it,
Jelly filled donut.
nods, swallows.
Glad you like them. There'll be more in line if you want some more.
Looks down at her plate full of them. I think I have enough.
Seb picks curiously at
order.
his and does seem to enjoy him based on the roll. So, all right, Em, you're outside. Malos, you are certainly welcome to be around. Brixie sort of nowhere to be seen this morning yet. And
I'm actually going to stay in my room for a little while.
okay.
Is there a place for me to write?
Yes,
I
there's a
write?
couple. There's a couple locations down here that are basically postal.
Is there any
platforms.
place private? Like, can I do it in my little
Oh,
living
oh.
room?
Yeah. There's definitely a small space in your room specifically for a writing desk in the corner that you could write confidentially.
I'm gonna take some parchment out of my gear,
Mhm.
and I'm going to compose a letter, kind of detailing what happened to Ormia, addressed to Ormia's family, and I'll come up with an actual thing at some point between now and next week that
Neat.
everybody can look at.
Okay. And let's see then. And you're outside. And Mina, you had something that you wanted to do back at the Crucible, you think, this morning? Or would you be stopping in for breakfast first?
Mina's just waiting for just the next cleric or someone from the group to come back so she is anxious to get back to the Crucible, but
Okay.
she promised to do this thing, so she's just waiting for
Okay.
someone to come back.
I'll say super late at night, just after midnight or so, someone finally came in and relieved her, in case you wanted to get, the same night's rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be nice to get spell slots back.
Mhm.
So she'll rest, and then she'll probably be there, see if the person there needs to be relieved, and if not, then she will go downstairs and grab a quick breakfast, though she won't eat much.
Okay. There isn't no relief is needed, so you are able to go over to this. There's a couple of places along the way that cook food. This one smells delicious. Whatever is being cooked in here is phenomenal. And as you go in, you see people eating these. In the corner, you see some people eating these fried dough balls with some jelly squishing out. This dwarf. You're like, oh wait, they were the people that were in the place the other day, the triage center.
Right. Yeah. Okay. If anybody looks at my direction, I'll just kind of wave nod and go get some food. And
Kaylin will see her and wave at her.
and she'll just kind of like. I'm going to get my... One second.
Mommy,
Nice,
guess what?
Mammy.
All the toys stay out after bedtime, and I can go back out and play with them some more.
Nice. That's great.
Felix will go ahead and bring the plate of donuts over to Emersina.
Ooh. And you see Felix round the corner with the scent of this delicious treat precedes him.
When you're over with pastries.
Care for a treat?
Gotta get me with the food, man.
Awesome.
I'm gonna take a second to kind of collect myself because I'm kind of surprised that Felix is actually coming over to me because I wasn't expecting anybody to really want to talk to me after that or even approach me in any way. And I'll just kind of give a little pause first and I'll look at it and I'll be like, I'll take one. Thank
You have
you.
a second? Sure. You have a second to talk, or you want some alone time? I understand either way.
Well,
I'll be right
considering
back.
okay, considering that we all need to be together for a meeting, I do not mind taking a few moments to talk.
Cold.
What is it that you have on your mind?
I sit down. I remember what you did for me, and it's really important to me to know if we're still okay. I really appreciate what you did for me, and I understand if we disappointed you in some way, but I just want to know.
We're okay. It isn't you that I'm mad about or at. There's a lot of things that I've seen and I've gone through, and I just need a moment. But we're okay.
All right. See you a little bit later then.
Yeah. Can we bring some more pastries?
You got it.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, Felix, do you know where Emil is?
I can honestly say that I don't know. Haven't seen him since yesterday.
Okay. I'll just go back to eating my pastry and just kind of keep it to myself and keep my back turned to everybody.
All right.
I assume that the room that Kaylin and I are in and Mina are in, and the room that the patio that Emersina, we can't. There's like no direct line of sight.
No, it's around a. You can see the doorway. It's like an L shape in the corner. You can see the doorway out to the patio, but M and Felix are just off to the right, so no line of sight.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That's what I thought.
I'm sorry, I completely screwed that up. I knew that you were having breakfast because I'm
Liar!
sorry.
I got you in a lie.
Yeah.
You can retcon it if you want. Yeah. It hasn't been.
Yeah, let's go ahead and retcon that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw him a little bit earlier. I was serving him and Kaylin. They're having breakfast together.
Okay, they're inside.
Yeah.
What about Malos?
Do I know where Mouse? No, I probably wouldn't know where Mouse is. Haven't seen him since last night.
She doesn't believe.
Okay. It's just. It's been a very strange week.
I would agree with that. Very long one, too.
Agreed. Give
Well,
a little chuckle.
Enjoy your pastry.
Thank you.
All right. Breakfast is wrapped up, and it's about that time.
Kaylin stuffs any donut hole she didn't eat into a bag.
Nice. They into the bag of holding.
Out of your bag later.
They disappear into the bag of holding. Did you guys? No, we'll get into that. Okay, so breakfast wraps up, and everyone starts. It's on everyone's mind. This whole meeting in the strategy room, whether or not you go.
I don't know about it.
Oh yeah, everyone except Emil.
Actually, you know what? That might be a good time for Emil to open up the thing that Crystal gave him.
Oh, okay, sweet. All right. So let's see. It's essentially you and Kaylin that are just eating there, because everyone else is sort of doing their thing. So you take out this package and you cut the twine with a dagger and open up the packaging, and you see inside a very neatly folded robe with a bunch of eye-like patterns.
Is it a wizard robe?
It appears to be. Roll an Arcana check as you get a glimpse.
Shoot, I don't think I know my modifier, but.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Well, my base roll is a 2. I want to say my intelligence is 2 + 2 or 3, and then I'm proficient in Arcana, but it's still less than 10.
That's okay. It doesn't take much for this particular item for you to sense magic from it. But you need to spend, maybe half an hour sort of getting a feel for what this might be, as it requires attunement.
Okay. I mean, I'll have a look at it stylistically, but then I'll put it away and start plotting in the back of my mind that maybe this is something that Eckhart could try on at some point. I mean, he is a wizard after all.
Ah! Awesome, and Nevik nailed it perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
If we ever sell shirts, can that be the quote on them? I am a wizard after all.
That would be an amazing shirt. That's a really good idea. Jedediah, welcome back. Okay, so yeah, everyone else's mind, sans Emil, you're starting to think, okay, they probably are waiting on us for information, and it might be important to get that to them so they can take action, not get hit with any surprises.
Oh, okay. Can I do what I was planning to do before
Yes.
I got interrupted?
Mm-hmm. Shoot.
So Mina's gonna kind of come over and sit down with the group a little bit, like kind of just like on the awkward edge, but just your friend is
like
still
Kaylin did?
Yeah.
Another
kind
2
of,
seats
but
down.
on the opposite side.
We're also awkward.
Yeah. Just kind of like nothing happened during the night. Everything is all right with your friend. And I'll continue my vigil as long as you need me to. I was wondering if it would be possible to request a little bit more of your help later on today. I need help finding someone back in the Crucible. And I need help bringing his body back, if I can find him. So I'm not the strongest, so it would take me a bit, and I don't think the people here would be willing to lend me a cart or anything.
Are there many of your kind around here?
No. He's not a dark elf.
I'll help.
I'll help.
Thank you. And you may have noticed she's not, like, she's cleaned up, but her clothes are still like, her robes are still kind of like battle worn, and she's not really eating very much.
Caitlin
And,
slides her plates of donut holes over to her.
like, she has plenty of.
Pastry?
All right, thank you. She'll take one, just kind of like slowly eat it.
Then
Like-
Caitlin will put the rest into her bag.
Pocket donuts.
Nice.
Nothing bad has ever happened to this party when Kaylin took a few extra treasures and put them in her bag.
Never.
Nice.
As long as they're not skull-shaped donut holes, we're fine. We're fine.
I'm gonna get up from my table, and because I finished my food and everything, and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go inside because I want to drink, and I will see a meal and I'll just like freeze and kind of give a weird look at Kayla and be like, like a what's going on look, like kind of quizzical, and I'll take a look at the drow and be very confused for a minute, and then I will go and order a drink and sit down very far away. But I'll be in the building.
Okay.
If Kaylin sees Emersina sitting down, I want to go over to her slowly.
As you get up to go, I'll say, I think she's mad at me.
You think? And then I'll keep walking.
Kaylin's getting sarcastic. I love it.
Mina's just kind of like looking over her donut hole, like, what?
Sassy.
Where did I get
Oh,
myself
this
into?
is great. You're killing me.
I'm sorry, Mina. I'm not always good with people.
I can understand that.
Kaylin's
Have you
gonna
met
go-
Seb?
Oh, sorry.
No?
Go ahead now, but as our conversation goes on, I'll introduce her to Seb because why not?
Nice.
Kayla goes over to Emersina slowly, just kind of watching to make sure that she's not encroaching on any alone time or anything. She won't even sit down. She'll just be So what happened to Rin and Ayler? I haven't seen them. You haven't mentioned them.
I tense up. Ayler's dead.
Where's Ren? Does Ren know?
Very much so. And he is clearly not very happy. Out of character for a moment, Dan. Ren was trying to still look for clerics, right?
Yes, when he passed out, he was just carrying Ayler in his arms, like, I need to get him to someone. Someone needs to bring him back. He passed out from his wounds.
I don't know.
Ren isn't very well himself right now, so he's being tended to. But
Did But you
Let's
don't
just
know.
say there's just been a lot of loss this week.
Is he still at the Haven, or did they
Yeah.
take him somewhere else?
I think he's still at the Haven.
Okay. And Kaylin will just leave her alone. Kaylin will, before she walks away, just kind of gently put a hand on Emersina's shoulder before she leaves.
Put my hand on top of hers. Kaylin, what really happened?
How? And then Kaylin leaves.
Wow. That's beautiful. I kind of wish it was one. I could wrap up the session on that. It's so perfect. That's amazing. All right. Tension's still running high. Whew. Okay. Well, with
Whew.
breakfast
Everybody take
done. Yeah. I had forgotten. I hadn't even considered that you were going
I
to
don't
have
want
to
to
tell
follow
them.
that up.
Mm-mm-mm.
Turn it off. See you next week.
Holy Toledo. That was amazing. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it says here on the script, Kaylin says hell and then fade to black.
Yeah. Nice. That's so insanely awesome. I need to clip that. Yeah, I guess, as Kaylin, you walk out, hearing this news, and Em having to share that news. Oh, thank you, Randy. A little more time passes. Breakfast is wrapped up. Mina, do you want to head out to search, or are you going to do something different?
Unmute. She's going to wait for everyone because
Okay.
I'm assuming while she and Emil were talking awkwardly, Emil mentioned that they had something to do this morning, so she's gonna kind of wait.
Well, Emil doesn't know, actually. Bum, bum, bum. But if you're hanging about, that's totally okay, and we'll say that you're sort of
And
waiting.
she'll go back to Ormia's body to continue vigil while she's waiting.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless someone invites her along, then she's going to be there.
Gotcha.
As she leaves, I'm going to get up and go to Emil, which is extremely unusual, considering I'm not a people person either. And I'm going to ask him who she was. Or who she is.
She's the cleric who gathered Ormia's body.
Well, takes a moment to gather herself. What will they do with it?
I'm not sure. I guess we have to decide today. I don't even know. I guess it would go to her family, but... And I hate to say this, but maybe Malos would know if he hasn't skipped town by now.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's drunk in a bar somewhere.
Well, I mean, that would be usual for him, but I mean, I don't know much about nobility, but I kind of thought from the stories that when a noble person killed a little person, other family, war followed, bloodshed, bad things. So I don't know.
Well, we have a meeting to go to. Are you coming or not?
What meeting? Oh, is that why the guards were looking for me yesterday?
Yeah. You had one too. I had one myself. I told them I didn't want to see anybody.
Old habits, I guess. When I see guards looking for me on the streets, I just don't want to talk to them.
Understandable.
Okay. Should we go?
I'm gonna search around for Kaylin. Yeah,
I think I've
I
already
think that would be
walked out.
best. Oh, you
Follow the
already
trail
walked
of follow the trail of Powdered Sugar. We'll find her.
out. Oh,
Nice.
that's perfect. After you.
Let's go.
I'll follow you.
Okay. We'll try and find Kaylin. We'll try and find Felix.
I'm just
and...
right
I'm
outside
sure
the door,
everybody's
pretty
like
much.
close by, so.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to gather those four. I mean, I wouldn't think to go looking for Malice because, like I said, I think Emil would assume he's left town or hiding or something. So figure out who to talk to go.
I'll see the two of them walk out together and just kind of raise my eyes at Emil and just follow them. Typically.
Awkward.
Felix leaves instructions for a line cook. So make sure the flame is nice and heavy on the oil here, and the glaze, it has to be at the correct temperature when you pour it on. Otherwise, you're gonna get a huge mess.
Okay.
You got this, right?
Such a control freak.
I
got this?
think
Okay.
so. Thank you. And you see him sort of like recounting that to themselves. Okay.
And he hurries off and joins the rest of the party.
Okay.
Malos,
do you want to? Are you still sort of doing your own thing, or would you want to?
Yeah, Malice is going to skip the meeting.
Mhm.
Continue working on this letter.
Okay.
It'll probably take him most of the day.
Oh,
He's never had
sure.
to do something like this before.
Yeah. Okay. I picture a bunch of crumpled up papers and.
Exactly.
Nice.
He's not the most eloquent writer. He's doing his best.
Perfect. Okay. So the rest of you, as you find your way back to the strategy room, all at one point, meeting one another outside of the room. At one point, you're all ready to push through and enter and get this part, the recap, over and done with and see what they have to say. Doors, guards open up the doors for you. Two large metal doors creak open, and the strategy room is full of people. You see up at the very head of the room, at that table, are three of the generals that were around that table beforehand while you were all there. A number of these rebels in tattered clothes and looking worn and beat, some with bloody bandages still, are in there eagerly waiting. Some are there to hear what's firsthand what took place. Others just roar into applause as you all enter. They all stand up one at a time to this big standing ovation in this room for all of you, clapping and cheering and whistling, and just with a clear path through the front for you to head up towards the desk by the strategists up front there, the generals.
Can I stealth while walking down the road? This isn't This isn't something Emil's comfortable with.
You can certainly try. Maybe you can hide between a couple other people, a couple of the other party members, or cut around the long way.
Probably about an 18 to 20.
Okay. You do a pretty good job of hiding between some of the other party members that are there and cloak up, kind of decking through them. The generals actually have to quiet everyone down with a stone that they bang on this circular plate, almost like a gavel. All right. Yes. Thank you and congratulations to our heroes. Please sit, and we can get things underway. Nice, Malice. That's so great. Yes, well, please, I'm sure that you'd rather not go into great detail, and that is quite all right. I know you suffered loss and probably would not like to go into great detail and relive matters, but we just want to confirm what became of the, and they list off the 4 other people that you had to battle against, the 2 from the church and the 2 members of nobility. And I'll just sort of buzz through this part for time's sake. Basically, they seem to have all their ducks in a row already, and they just ask you, they have the gist of what happened. They ask if that sounds correct. Is that a proper accounting? Is there any details that perhaps took place that we're unaware of? And there really isn't.
Sounds about right.
We appreciate all that you've done. Most certainly. You did not have to, and yet you put your own lives at stake at the very, very heavy cost of one of your friends and compatriots. We do not have much to reward you with. There's still very much to be done here in the city. However, we, all of us, and he looks around the room at everyone, you hear a few more whistles and claps, felt you very deserving of some recompense for your losses and strife, as well as showing of our deepest gratitude for your works. So, he gestures over to someone on the side who hustles over with a sack of gold. They eagerly, it's a little kid, probably like not little kid, but probably like 10 or 11 or something, who's gotten a privilege. He's all excited. He runs over. Thank you. And he passes it up to Kaylin. She's the easiest to reach.
What does he pass up to me?
A sack of gold. Ching,
A
ching.
bag of gold?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then. Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is from all of us. Thank you so much.
I mean, how big is this bag? Yeah.
Well, Kaylin's pretty savvy at feeling the weight of gold. You look in, take a quick paw through. It's not too awful much because they don't have a ton,
Right.
but it's about 450 gold pieces.
Okay. Caitlin will look away from the child, and up to one of the other people, be like, "Are you sure? This is a lot of money."
And they just start clapping for you. People once again roar, big roar throughout the room. People whistling loud and saying yes. Just so excited for you and for this possibility of a new life for them. They've lived under this for so long. They're ecstatic. Take it, yes.
Kaylin will
Thank
look
you.
around at the others in the room. I mean, at the others in the party.
Felix is shaking his head.
I will accept no such offer.
Emil doesn't say anything. He's just looking at Ernestina.
Kaylin,
If
you
you
can take
wish
my
to-
share. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Kaylin, you can take my share and give it back to the people. I know I don't deserve any of this.
Do the same with mine or keep it. Whatever you decide. But I won't hold it against you if you decide to keep it.
Kaylin will look to Emil.
We can accept it, but we can give it back, or we can accept it and do some good with it. In the end, as long as it does, the money goes to something good. That's what matters.
Hmm. Kaylin will walk up to one of the officials and just hand the bag of money back to them.
Oh,
Your town needs this a lot more than we do. Please take it, use it.
you are all truly too kind for words. And they take it and set it off on the side of the desk. Well, while we don't have much to offer in gold, we do have much to offer in symbolism. we have plans, and this will most certainly help with those plans, to build a monument in your honor here in the city for all the courageous work you did and the loss you suffered. We also, as of today, bequeath upon each of you, as well as your departed friend, the title of Peacemaker. This is a coveted title in our land and is known far across the entire continent. It holds some weight behind it, to say the least. And lastly, we have decided that as we reclaim the city for everyone, not simply the nobles, not simply for us, not simply for those that are devout to the church, but for all of us, that we are going to grant you a permanent place of residence here in Blackrock Landing. There's a noble keep that will no longer be needed by those who owned it prior, and it is yours to reside in. hoping the sight of you, should you visit, will rouse our people and remind them of where we were, where we have arrived, and who helped us get there. I hope you will accept our humble offerings. It's the very least we can do.
I shift a little uneasily when he starts talking about the statue.
If someone starts a slow clap.
I'd like to, Kaylin and Emil. Do you guys look a little uneasy as well?
I think Emil looks angry.
You
know what? You know what? I think Emil is more than just angry. I think Emil's going to stand up and say, I for one didn't risk my life to be a hero, and I didn't risk my life so that gold could be wasted on a statue that won't give shelter to anyone who needs it, or won't rebuild the walls of the city. That this is nonsense. And Emil walks out.
Okay. There's a hush over the crowd as their excitement turns to a bit of unease and self-reflection about what they were thinking would be something good, to realization that Emil made a good point.
Respectfully, I think I speak for the whole group when I say that it might be a better idea to build instead a memorial to those who have fallen here today. And instead of gifting us a permanent place of residence here, perhaps a home for the children who have lost parents today.
General stands up straight and shrugs his
I
shoulders
nod
back.
my head in agreement.
True heroes, each and every one of you. So be it. Do you have a name you wish to give this orphanage for lost youth?
What do you say, guys? Should we have them name it after Ormia?
Aye.
Oh, guys, you're cheering me up.
You all sort of talk amongst each other as you sort out what you want to say in the general. And everyone's in the room sort of waiting with bated breath to see, if you guys are gonna name it anything.
Would you like to say the honors, Caitlin?
We had a dear friend that fell in battle. She kind of winces at those words. We would like to name it after her. If that's okay.
Consider it done.
Her name was Ormia.
It's a beautiful name. It will stand tall and proud in the city.
Adventurous spirit and care for others would be a great model for the orphanage. And Kaylin takes a step back.
We will see it done justice. Thank you all.
I'm actually going to take that moment to walk out.
Okay. People are cheering, trying to kind of pat Emil as you go out, trying to pat you on the. Well, no, they were a little awkward, but some people were still like, "Yay!" But everyone roars, at this, "Yeah!" And there's a bit of a cheer a chant that comes over the crowd, "Ormia, Ormia, Ormia," and you hear people shouting, "For the youth, for the orphans, for our future!" As
My face just gets dark as I keep walking out here and
and that's where we'll end tonight's session. Ooh, sizzle out.
Thanks for joining us on that wild ride, chat.
Holy crap, yeah.
Thanks for sticking it with us. It's been crazy.
Oh my gosh,
God,
yeah.
the tension.
Okay, so I promise we'll do some downtime rolls at the top of next episode. Then we'll jump. We will get to it, and then we'll jump into.
I kind of want to do them now.
Nice.
So you don't have to worry about downtime next week. and you can
Maybe
just
I
jump
will.
into
Maybe we'll do
whenever.
them. Off-stream rolls for that, and just catch up at the top on how everyone did. And we have a little bit more, just a little bit more in the city, and then we'll figure out where you guys are. What you're all gonna do next week? Oh my gosh! Yes, chat. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Holy crap! White knuckled in the DMC. The whole the Kalen part there is like hell, and then I walk away. I'm like, go! Holy Toledo. So for any new viewers, yeah, please swing by, check out Ed just linked our YouTube there. We've got an awesome Discord community. I don't know if that's linked or if anyone would mind dropping a link for that. A Facebook group that we chatted a bit to. You can catch us every Friday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Oh my word! And players, you guys are. It's like a thing of beauty to watch you. It's like a ballet. This incredibly complex interwoven dance. It's so amazing. So thank you very much for just being so epic.
Thank you, Dad, for being a great DM.
Oh, no problem.
You're
It's I just sit here in the seat and I do this. That's pretty much it.
I'm just using my imagination to imagine what you're telling us you're doing.
Oh, right, yeah. A little bit of head nodding, resting on my hand. I forgot I've got the camera off for you guys.
Actually, your profile picture works well.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, please.
I had this really strong urge. I don't know why I didn't do it for some reason, but like it's when Emil turns around and walks out, I almost was like, well, you got yourself into this. Kind of as a snarky remark to him, be like, that's you right there. What do you mean?
Sniping comment. Nice.
Eat it.
In front of everybody, I'm sure Emil would have loved that.
Yeah.
Emil's a hero.
That's great. That's great. Holy crap. Amazing. Okay, I need a breather after that. Holy crap. I also need to go back and clip some moments out of that because I think people in the Twitterverse and elsewhere just need to see some of these clips.
That hell moment was like, that was it.
You couldn't have written it better, you know? It was like, oh my gosh. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I don't know, do we have anyone we want to raid tonight, or are we sort of crapped out from all the technical issues?
Ooh, haven't looked.
I can't. I don't dare open another tab and search. So.
Yeah, I think we'd be done.
We're
Yeah.
done. We're
Yeah,
getting
Cool.
it.
Let's call it a night.
Next week.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much again. Amazing time with chat, amazing time with players, and we will catch you all next Friday on Stormfall. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Bye.